Everyone, welcome. So today we're diving straight into what is, without a doubt, the absolute biggest technical opportunity of our lifetime. We're talking about artificial intelligence. Now, whether you're already in tech or you're starting from scratch and feeling, maybe a little bit behind the curve, don't worry. This explainer is built exactly for you. We're going to take all that confusion, flip it into total clarity, and map out a literal roadmap to take you from a total beginner to being an industry-ready expert. We want to get you ready to grab that first big role.
So I've got a question for you right out of the gate. Are you ready to actually secure a professional role or maybe an internship in AI? Because I know the headlines out there are super intimidating, but breaking into this field as a beginner, it's honestly incredibly achievable. Just think of me as your mentor for this explainer. We're going to cut right through the jargon, figure out the actual nuts and bolts of how this technology works, and really zero in on exactly how you can monetize these skills, like today. All right, so here's our roadmap for today. First up, welcome to the AI revolution. Then, we'll meet the AI family. After that, we'll cover how AI works. And finally, AI careers and jobs. Let's kick things off right now with Section 1, Welcome to the AI Revolution. Okay, let's take a quick look back at history, because it perfectly mirrors where we are right now. Think about the Green Revolution back in the 1950s. A lot of farmers pushed back against the new machinery and chemicals, right? They stuck to the old ways and, well, they faced massive financial stress. But the ones who adapted, they absolutely thrived. We saw the exact same story play out with early smartphones. At first, everyone thought they were so complicated and intimidating. But today, toddlers and grandparents are swiping away on them without a second thought. Listen, AI is the new smartphone. Folks who resist it are going to struggle to keep up. But if you lean in and adapt right now, you are essentially setting yourself up for future financial freedom and some truly global opportunities.
And it's really important to look at the timeline here just to prove this didn't just magically appear out of thin air overnight. The whole concept actually kicked off way back in 1950. That was Alan Turing's thesis on machine learning. Then, the actual phrase artificial intelligence got officially coined in 1956 at the Dartmouth conference. After that, things got a little quiet. We had an AI winter where funding kind of dried up and people lost interest. But then, boom, AI came roaring back in the 1990s as computers got way more powerful. Fast forward to 2020, and we hit the massive generative AI boom, tools like ChatGPT. And today, we are actively crossing into the incredibly advanced agentic AI era. So, if you are feeling like you missed the boat, don't. You are literally right on time.
Moving right along to Section 2, the AI family.
A lot of beginners just assume ChatGPT is the entire AI industry. But really, AI is this massive, interconnected ecosystem. It's kind of like an electricity grid. Think about it. A chatbot is really just the glowing light bulb that we interact with in our living room, but the actual power making that bulb glow, that comes from a colossal infrastructure. We're talking companies making crazy powerful GPU chips, gigantic data centers, huge cloud systems, and the developers actually training these massive models. Realizing this is your very first step to spotting the actual job opportunities that are hiding just behind the screen.
So let's break down these intimidating buzzwords. I like to think of it as a family tree. Artificial intelligence, or AI, is the big overarching parent. Right underneath that umbrella, you have a branch called machine learning. Then, inside machine learning, there's a highly advanced branch called deep learning. And nested deep inside that, we finally find generative AI and large language models. See, they aren't competing with each other at all. They're just increasingly specialized members of the exact same family.
Okay, so the absolutely crucial thing here is grasping the difference between those top two branches. Machine learning learns patterns from data. Imagine teaching a little kid to recognize an apple. You show them a red apple, then a green one, maybe a huge one. Eventually, their brain clicks, it detects the pattern, and they just know an apple when they see it. Machine learning is literally doing the exact same thing. Now, deep learning, that is a whole different beast. It's way more complex. It uses neural networks, which are actually inspired by the real neurons in your own brain, to learn insanely complex hidden patterns. We're talking recognizing human voices or navigating self-driving cars. And it does this automatically, without a human needing to sit there and label the data for it. All right, climbing further down that family tree, we hit LLMs. That stands for large language models, and they are exactly what they sound like. These are massive AI models that have been trained on just an enormous amount of text data. Because they've read so much, they understand structure, they get context, and they can generate incredibly human-like text right back to you. So, whenever you're playing around with tools like Gemini, Claude, or ChatGPT, you were just interacting with the public-facing storefront of a massive LLM. But you've got to be careful. And that brings us to a super important industry buzzword you absolutely need to know: hallucination. So what is it? A hallucination happens when an AI generates totally incorrect information or just straight-up fake facts. But, and here's the kicker, it does it with absolute 100% confidence. It is exactly like that one kid in your group project who clearly didn't do the reading, but confidently makes up facts on the spot to sound smart. Learning how to spot and correct these hallucinations is a totally vital skill for anyone looking to go pro in this industry.
And how do we fight those hallucinations? We use prompt engineering. Listen to me, this is not just a fancy vocabulary word. This is literally the #1 skill hiring managers are desperate for in interns and entry-level talent right now. Prompt engineering is just the ability to write incredibly smart, highly contextual instructions so you get precise outputs from the AI. So instead of just typing, "write me an email," a good prompt engineer says, "write a professional, empathetic, sick leave email to my manager explaining I have a fever." Nailing this one skill will honestly make your day-to-day work so much more efficient and make you insanely valuable to any employer.
All right, let's shift gears. Section 3, how AI works. Let's strip away the magic and completely remove the intimidation factor here. Let's look at how machine learning actually functions under the hood. It really just comes down to 4 super logical steps. Step 1, we give data to the system. Step 2, the machine studies patterns hidden inside that data. Step 3, it learns relationships. So, for example, it figures out that a certain shape and color means apple, or certain suspicious words mean spam email. And finally, step 4, it uses those learned relationships to make predictions on brand new data it's never even seen before. That is the whole shebang. No magic wand, just pure logic.
Now, if your goal is to secure an internship or crush a technical interview anytime soon, you absolutely need to memorize these 3 main types of machine learning. First, supervised learning. This uses labeled data, meaning we explicitly tell the machine, hey, this right here is an apple. Then there's unsupervised learning. This uses unlabeled data so the machine is just left to group items by hidden patterns all on its own. And third, reinforcement learning. This one is all based on rewards and penalties. Honestly, it's a lot like training a puppy. If the machine gets a task right, boom, gets a reward. If it messes up, it gets a penalty.
Okay, if you remember nothing else, remember this fundamental truth driving the whole industry. Data is the fuel of AI, period. Better data equals better learning. Without incredibly high-quality data, the entire ecosystem just falls apart. Poor data leads directly to poor predictions. And actually, this is exactly why the big tech giants are offering you free access to their AI tools right now. They are desperately trying to collect your prompts and inputs to build massive, high-quality datasets so they can train their next generation of models.
Let's look at how this evolution is actually playing out right now. Generative AI was the initial massive breakthrough, right? You type in a prompt and it generates text or code or maybe a really cool custom movie poster. But Agentic AI, that is the current frontier and it actually takes action. So an Agentic AI wouldn't just design you a movie poster, it would literally go online, find the best movie playing at your local theater, book the tickets for you, and then reserve a table for dinner, all completely automatically end-to-end. We are rapidly moving from an AI that brainstorms with you to an AI that literally runs your errands. This is exactly where the future is heading.
Which brings us to the most exciting part, Section 4, AI careers and jobs.
So the job market here is pretty clearly split into 2 camps, core tech roles and general opportunities, which just proves there is a seriously lucrative path here, whether you know how to code or not. If you're highly technical, companies are basically fighting over AI engineers, data scientists, and machine learning engineers to build and tweak these models. But if you have 0 programming experience, no problem. You can start an AI automation agency. You can offer crazy fast AI-powered video editing, or you could build websites for clients using generative tools in like a fraction of the time it used to take. The opportunities are literally boundless.
Okay, so what are the actual actionable steps you can take today to lock down that role or internship? Well, first, master the jargon we just talked about so you instantly sound like an insider. Second, intensely practice your prompt engineering every single day. Third, go use tools like Google's NotebookLM. You can upload your current resume into the system and just ask the AI to custom tailor it for the exact job openings you're applying for. It can even generate an audio overview of your skills, which is wild. And finally, please don't sit around waiting to be hired. Go build a custom AI voice agent or a simple chatbot and cold pitch it to local startups. Walk into an interview with a working product that will immediately save them money. That is the ultimate cheat code to getting hired.
I want to leave you with this core, really empowering philosophy we pulled straight from the source material today. Read it with me. AI will not replace humans. Humans who use AI will replace those who don't. Think about that. By being here today, you are actively taking the steps to be the human who uses AI.
You are literally future-proofing your own career.
Which leads me to my final question for you. What is going to be your very first step into the AI industry today? Are you going to go write your first complex prompt? Are you going to upload your resume to NotebookLM right now? It's time to stop passively watching and start actively building. The AI revolution isn't coming, it's already here, and your career in it starts right now. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep succeeding, and I'll catch you in the next one.